NFL draft is inching its way closer, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what are they going to do at 15? ESPN has some fun draft intel that could sort of give some insight into what the Buccaneers could do at 15, who they could select. Is it offense, defense? That's what we're going to talk about on today's show. You're watching Bucs Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Reid Barkus. Wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, hope you're having a great day. This is a big ask, I know. 2,000 subscribers before the start of the 2026 NFL Draft. It is just weeks away. We are at 1,704 subscribers. Crazy. I still can't believe that we're there. We need 296 subscribers to go. Now, I know that's a pretty steep mountain, but we got a couple weeks. So if you want to help me out and you want some good free Bucs content all offseason long, this is the spot to do it. YouTube.com/Bucs now. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. You get free, fun, daily Bucs content from yours truly. All right, moving on to our show. Now, I always show this. Bucs team needs going into the offseason, going into the NFL draft. I switched up some stuff here, but this is mainly what we're looking at. Edge rusher / outside linebacker, inside linebacker, obviously. Cornerback has actually risen a little bit for me. There's been some mock drafts with Bucs taking a corner. I don't hate that idea. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then tight end and offensive lineman. Offensive lineman is at the bottom here because signing Justin School, it's sort of just a, depth in the later rounds of the NFL draft. If you come across a guy that is good on the Bucs board and they like him, then I can totally see the Bucs going with a guy, offensive lineman, in the later parts of the draft, just for some depth, because we don't want what happened last year to happen this year. Injuries, we do not want that. We want some good depth on the offensive line. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's show, though, I want to know, who is your number one option at pick number 15 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Is it an offensive guy? Is it a defensive guy? Is it somebody that I don't even know? Please let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. This is not Reid Sports. This is Chat Sports. I want to see what you guys are talking about with your friends, with your family. Hey, other Bucs fans, this is the place to be for a Bucs fan if you just want to hang out, have fun, and talk about your favorite team. So please let me know down in the comment section. All right, moving on to what Jenna Lane had to say about the Bucs draft plan. She works for ESPN. They asked people that cover the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and every other team, what are you thinking about the Bucs and what they would do in the NFL draft? Here's what she said. Edge rusher, inside linebacker, and cornerback are needed, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them doubling up at corner again. Me neither. But the Buccaneers are also doing a lot of work on this year's tight end class. I've looked at a lot of interior offensive linemen for depth and would not pass up a best player available situation at a non-needed position. They did that last year with the Mekabuka. So I'd say as many as 5 defensive players will be selected. Like I said in the beginning of today's show, I've seen a lot of mock drafts with some cornerbacks. So what Jenna is saying, totally could see that, them doubling up on corner again with Jacob Parrish and Benjamin Morrison last year. I've seen Jermon McCoy in a lot of mock drafts. So the Tennessee corner, that could be a possibility as well. I do not rule that out either. But at the same time, she was talking about the tight end class. Now, I did not a ton of digging, but you can look this up on Pewter Report. The Bucs top 30 visits for tight ends heading into the draft season. So Max Clare, the tight end out of Ohio State, got a pre-draft visit. Considered one of the best tight end prospects in the class after Kenyon Sadiq. But he's got 43 receptions, 448 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is all from Pewter Report. Shout out to them. If you do not know who Pewter Report is, get in the game. They are amazing. Dan Villari, Syracuse tight end. Oscar Delp from Georgia. Justin Jolly from NC State. Joe Royer from Cincinnati. And Bauer Sharp from LSU. So those are some guys that they're looking at. And they did, I forget his name. Oh, my God. I think it's Max. The tight end from Tennessee. I'm blanking on his name. They met with him at the Kittlesman, yeah, Max Kittlesman or something. I talked to our Tennessee guy. Said he sucks. But they met with him at the combine. They talked to him a little bit. So they are definitely doing their homework on tight end, which sort of puts a light bulb in my head of like, okay, there's a possibility that a certain somebody could be there at 15. But obviously, how we know, they signed an extension with Cade Otton, that $30 $30 million, 3 years, $10 million a year. They believe in Cade Otton. They bring him back because they know Cade Otton. They know what he can do in this system. He's reliable. He's consistent. He's nothing crazy, but he's always there. He's that target that you can always go to for Baker Mayfield. So if you're looking at this Bucs tight end depth chart, Cade Otton, definitely the number one. Payne Durham, sort of a run-blocking tight end, bigger body. Devin Culp is more of a receiving tight end. Get him in a later round, sort of see how he can develop, and then they bring back O'Keefe as well, who is more of a special teams guy, but as well sort of a run blocking as well. So the real question, though, is would the Bucs actually go with anything other than edge, outside linebacker at pick 15, even corner, because that's been mocked as well a lot of times. So that's the real question that we're asking is are they actually going to look at their big board and say, all right, if any of these guys fall to us, is it going to be, like Jenna said, a best player available? Nobody expected Emeka Egbuka to be selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was all of a sudden, hey, whoa, we don't need a wide receiver. We got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Why are you picking Emeka Egbuka? It's because if a player of that caliber falls to 15 or to your pick, you go for it. Kenyon Sadiq, if he falls to 15, you should take, ESPN's intel, Kenyon Sadiq is a real possibility at 15. And I totally agree, because a lot of mock drafts, he gets there, nobody's picking him. And not that they don't want to pick him, it's just we're at 15. That's how it's falling. The edge rusher, the defensive line, the defensive game, or the defensive class right now is huge. That's what's taking up all the picks. So a guy like Kenyon Sadiq could fall to 15. Here's what ESPN's Jordan Reid had to say on the Bucs drafting a tight end. Defense and tight end are two positions that the Bucs have keyed in on as round one options, with tight end Kenyon Sadiq being a real possibility at number 15. I mean, that is 100% true because, not to be crazy, but this guy's huge. Are you kidding? Looks like an action figure. But I've said it before. Sadiq is the only offensive player I am taking at number 15. I don't care. Anyone else is there. Obviously, if a guy like Carnell Tate, you match him up with Emeka Egbuka, he's not making it to 15, though. The realistic possibility is Kenyon Sadiq at 15. He's the only offensive player I'm taking because he is incredibly athletic, versatile, which allows him to be open in man coverage. He's a mismatch machine. Only real weaknesses are in the blocking game, and he's got a little bit of a drop problem. But we can. I was about to say something crazy, but I was saying you could drill that out of him in terms of practice and everything like that. But he is the only offensive player I would be happy with at number 15. 2025 stats, we know. This guy is just unbelievable, an unbelievable athlete. Like I said, an action figure body. Fluid athlete with agility to run the 3-level route tree, bursts off the line and sustains high-level speed to stretch the seam. They lined him up on the outside in Oregon, so you can play him anywhere. He's a little bit shorter in terms of a tight end, but I don't think we got Cade Otton. We need that receiving stretch the field type of threat. Caught 13 passes for 20-plus yards, so he's stretching the field. Second amongst all FBS tight ends. Now, like I said, a little bit shorter, not in the ideal position, and lacks the ideal length, and does need to cut down on the drops, but he is a difference in ceiling defensive ends in the NFL. So, his blocking, I talked to our Oregon Ducks channel host, Will Ortner. I said, what's a weakness of Kenyon Sadiq? Because there's a lot of, oh my God, he's amazing. This is crazy. It's always the but. And he said, it's not that great in blocking. But we don't need him to block. We got Payne Durham and Cade Otton. So we need him to stretch the field and catch some balls. So this is what Dane Brugler of NFL analyst, he drops the beast every year, a draft guide for everyone to go off of. And this is what he said about Kenyon Sadiq. A one-year starter at Oregon, Sadiq lined up across the formation, but operated mostly out of the slot, 58.5% of snaps, and inline 27.7% in former offensive coordinator Will Stein's balanced spread scheme. After backing up Terrance Ferguson for 2 seasons, Sadiq had his breakout in 2025, becoming the first player in Oregon history to win Big Ten Tight End of the Year honors despite sharing targets with talented fellow tight ends. Tight end Jamari Johnson. Sadiq led the Ducks with 51 catches, a program record for tight ends, and placed all FBS and paced all FBS tight ends with 8 touchdown grabs. I mean, you don't pass this guy up, guys. If he's there at 15, you go get him. Because, yes, I know we have a lot of defensive struggles and everything like that. Like, there's a lot of different needs, but we're not afraid to go get a guy that we like. We did it last year with the Emeka Egbuka. I'll keep bringing that up. That's why a guy like Jordan Reid is saying Kenyon Sadiq's a real possibility, because in a lot of mock drafts, he's there at 15. You go get him. You bring back a guy like K. Dotton for consistency, and Payne Durham. A lot of two tight end sets with Zach Robinson. So Kenyon Sadiq, Kyle Pitts kind of scream the same type of player. So I understand we have a lot of needs on defense, but you can't pass this type of athleticism and talent in Kenyon Sadiq. You just can't. I'm sorry. If you disagree, please let me know in the comment section. Should the Bucs take Kenyon Sadiq with the number 15 overall pick? Straight up, yes or no, down in the comment section. Love, love, love hearing from you guys. And also, if you guys just want to shout out who you think 15 would be, or maybe your mock drafts or anything like that, please, in the comment section. I love, love, love hearing what you guys have to say. And if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. Me and producer Jeremy, we're doing something right. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. We have to get to 2K before the draft. I mean, I don't want to be the last one to get to 2,000 subscribers before the NFL draft. So help me beat my coworkers and help me beat my best friend as well, trying to beat him. So 296, I think we can do it. You get free, fun content, and you get to see my face 3 or 4 times a week. So that's fun. All right. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. And as always, fire the cannons.